Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of the relaxing, the relaxing fertility yoga sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie. And as a reminder to everyone, and then for those of you who are a first time here, I just want to invite you all to always practice with kindness and compassion to your body and to yourself. This is 1 hour that you get to nourish your mind and your body. And sometimes I think it can be hard to be kind to ourselves. We can pick ourselves apart quite a bit, and we carry around frustrations that we might take out on ourselves. And if that's the case, I just really want to invite you to spend the next hour experimenting with being kind to yourself and with just enjoying a period of time to nourish your body. You can just make an inquiry, right? So yeah, we're going to start the session with a centering and breathing, and then we're going to move into some warm-up movements. And then from there, we're going to flow through some postures. And just to say, again, as a reminder or as information for anyone new, these sessions are safe for anyone on the IVF journey. They are also for both men and women. So for any dudes here, you are more than welcome. We just avoid certain types of poses that are contraindicated through IVF and also through basic ideas about fertility and physiology. That's it. Oh, and let me just say, because I know, I don't think she's here this week, but I know someone last week might have, she wasn't sure yet whether or not she was pregnant. If you are in that position, it's absolutely fine to still do these classes. Just don't overstretch, really long stretches if you think that could be the case. Again, it's absolutely safe. And in fact, IVF yoga and first trimester yoga, they pretty much avoid all the same things. So, and encourage all of the same things. So yeah, let's see. Let's start. We're going to start with the centering and breathing. So to do that, you can come into one of two positions. You can either sit, and do feel free to use any props you have available to you. So if you want to use a bolster or a cushion, that's fine. You don't have to. Oh, sorry. One last thing to say before we get into this. Again, this is for anyone new. I do have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and you will occasionally hear them in the background. See if you can just let it be part of your practice, just allowing sounds and other creatures to live their lives. Okay, so again, you can either sit or you can lie down. And if you lie down, you can either bend your knees if you have lower back sensitivities. I love this comment, Francesca. Border Terriers always welcome. Yes, she's a Border Terrier pug cross. She's I'll show you her face at some point. She's a special little dog. So yeah. We're going to we're going to start. So again, either sit up tall or lie down on your back. Again, if you're on your back, you can either bend your knees or you can extend your legs all the way out, just letting them flop and splay. Just find what's right for you. Okay. And when you come down, either onto your back or sitting up tall, take a few rolls of the shoulders either way. So you're going to inhale, roll them up, exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax the shoulders down. Relax the hands, either facing up or down. Close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do that a few times. Inhaling calm, exhaling, sighing out, letting go of any stress or any tension. And then once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice your breath. Notice where it lands in the body. And then take a moment to now check in with your mind. And notice the quality of the mind this evening, how open or closed it is, how busy or quiet. And again, just avoid judging, avoid labeling what you find, simply notice. And then check in with your heart, with your emotional body, and just notice how you're feeling. And see if you can practice just being with whatever is rather than resisting or pushing anything away. Again, there's no need to label, but just witness whatever is there. And then check in with your body and just notice how your body is feeling tonight. And just notice where you're feeling what. Where is the body feeling relaxed and open? Where is the body storing tension or strain? And try to avoid labeling. Just notice it as it is. And then from here, take the awareness now and bring it back to your breath. And just start to deepen the breath through the nose. Inhale through the nose, take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. And then exhale back out the nose and feel the belly roll back towards the spine. So again, we use the diaphragm. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. So we inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. And just keep that going. Some of you might be familiar, this 3-part breath is known as a Dirga breath. So if you're newer to yogic breathing, to pranayama, you can stay with that. Otherwise, you might try coming into your ujjayi or your ocean wave sounding breath by constricting in the back of the throat in the epiglottis. So it's a bit like inhaling and exhaling the word home through the nose to create this audible wave sound and bring more warm air into the body. And I want you just to take about 5 more rounds of deep breath here. Take another breath here. And then start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. So just let yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh, just do whatever you need, whatever feels good to you. And And then from here, take half a minute to a minute to just gradually make your way up to a tabletop position. So you're coming onto hands and knees. So again, just take your time getting there. Okay. Now, when you come into this position, depending on your mat, if you have a mat, depending on the floor you're on, it might feel a little uncomfortable on your knees. And that's not because you're not strong or fit or anything like that. It's because the knees are pretty bony. So if that is the case, that it's bothering your knees, what you can do is you can either fold something up and put it underneath the knees, like a towel or a blanket. Or if you're using a mat, you can put a fold in the middle of the mat and walk your knees up onto that fold. Okay, so please protect your knees. And again, the reminder from the beginning of class, experiment this hour with just nourishing your body and being kind to yourself, whatever that looks like. Okay. And then we are going to bring the knees in line with the hips and the wrists in line with the shoulders. Then we're just going to take a few basic cat-cows. So we're going to roll the shoulders back and open up through the chest. Send your bum sort of back and up. We inhale. And then exhale. Tuck the chin in towards your chest. Round up into kitty cat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. And again. All right. And then I want you to imagine that you come back to neutral and imagine that your rib cage is just this barrel that is pegged between your shoulders and your hips. And I want you to swing it out towards one side, roll it up through the center, swing it around to the other side and down. So you're just starting to undulate through the spine a bit. And then take it the other way. All right. And then bring it back to center. And then from here, so again, we don't ever do deep twists in here because it's contraindicated when we're talking about fertility yoga. We're going to take a half a twist, which is not contraindicated. So what I'd like you to do is I'd just like you to take your left forearm down, bring the left wrist behind the right, and just turn to look up past that right shoulder. So just super gentle. And that's as far as we're going to go with this. Just saying hi. Okay. And then bring that back up. And we're going to go the other way. Right wrist coming behind the left and just turn to look up past that left shoulder. This might feel nice on your shoulders, hopefully. Okay. And then take it back to center. Now we're going to keep opening up the shoulders and the upper back. So I'd like you to come down onto your forearms, but leave your bottom up in the air. So we're going to take a puppy pose here again for the shoulders and the upper back. So leave your bum up, but then walk your hands out in front of you and take your forehead down. Oh, this should feel like a really nice stretch in the back there. And just breathe into that, your dog in a play bow here. Oh, and then start to walk yourself all the way back up, and then keep walking, walking, walking until you can bring your bottom back. So then we are going to take a child's pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to outstretch the arms in front of us, taking the forehead down. And then I'd like you to take your arms wider than shoulder distance. So if you're using a mat, take your hands off the edges of the mat, and you can let the arms lift with the palms down on the ground there. So you're just taking this wide stance with the arms. And then I want you to cross your left hand over your right, like a cat stretching out its foreleg. And just rest your head between your upper arms there. And maybe shift your weight a little bit towards that left hip. So you're getting this lovely side stretch here. And then take that left hand back wide and cross right over left. Shift the weight a little bit towards the right side with your hip. And take the hands back to neutral. Slowly roll yourself up. So you're going to, again, come into that tabletop. Bring your knees in line with your hips, your wrists in line with your shoulders. Okay. And then from here, we're going to play a little bit with the hips, guys. So as you know, hips are really important when we're talking both about trying to bring some relaxation to the body, but also when we're talking about things like fertility, it's not always the most pleasant to work on the hips, but it's important. So I'd like you to take your right leg and send it back. Then we're going to carry on this dog theme, and we're going to bend that right leg out to the side and start to bring it up. And then we're going to roll around to the elbow and send it back. We're just going to do a few of these. So these hydrated dogs, your dog's finding a good tree or whatever. Take two more. Okay, and then when next you take the leg back, this time I just want you to bend the knee into the chest, plant that foot in front of you, and start to come up. Okay, and then I realize I have become headless, so I'm just going to walk back a little bit more. Okay, still slightly headless, but better. Okay, so now we are up on that left shin, and then I want you to just to make sure your right knee is in line with the ankle. You don't want to be doing that sort of thing where the foot's back. Typically, you don't ever really want to be doing that in most fitness exercises, okay? Because we want to stack the joints to protect the body. And then we're going to take an inhale, lift through the arms. Oh, and then exhale. I want you to bend your elbows. So you're making scarecrow arms. You're still facing forward. I'm just turning towards you so you can see it. Okay, so you're going to make those scarecrow arms, and then you're going to inhale, open up the chest, squeeze the shoulders. Oh, starting to open that up, helping to release maybe some tension in the chest and the shoulders. And then exhale, tuck the chin in towards your chest, round down. It's sort of like this awkward Michael Jackson Thriller move, yeah? All right, inhale, open it up. Exhale, chin into the chest and down. One more. All right. And then this time, when you come up, I want you to lift up through the arms. Inhale. Exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. And I want you to take your fingertips down to the ground, curl your left toes under behind you. Guys, just play with this one, okay? And then you're going to start to pop up onto that right leg, straighten it out. And you're coming up onto the fingertips there. And then I want you to try to take a standing split. So you're going to lift that left leg up and hang your head down towards your knee. It's a tough one, I know. Okay, and then walk back up onto your fingertips. Drop that left leg down so it's parallel to the ground. And then see if you can just engage with your core, and you're going to push off the floor and then tip yourself right on up to standing, okay? And then I'm gonna adjust the screen so that you can see me. Okay, and then when you come up to standing, bring your feet to a hip distance stance. Guys, if you're finding any of it hard, I just want you to play, laugh, smile, have a good time with it. And then we're going to inhale, lift the arms, exhale. And again. And one more. And then inhale, lift it all the way up. And exhale, swan dive, hinge forward from the hips. And you're just going to bow down, coming towards Uttanasana, towards a standing forward bend. Now, a couple of important things to say here. You don't have to lock out the joints. You can keep a micro bend in the knee. That can help support the lower back so you're not fully loading there. Okay. Should be hopefully feeling a bit of a stretch through the back of the body. And just give your head a few shakes, yes, and a few shakes, no. And again, yes, 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 and no, no, no. And just hang the head, hang the arms. And then start to start to bend your knees and ragdoll your body all the way up. Okay. And then once you have come up, I'd like you to bring your feet together. So we don't do this very often. Usually we have them at hip distance because that's one of the most supportive things for the lower back. But right now I'd like you to bring your feet together as best you can. Sometimes the knees, they can push against each other. It's not always our favorite move, but we're not actually staying here. So again, just as best you can, legs and feet together. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to start to bend down, but we lift the heels as we bend down, okay? So just start to bend down, but lift your heels. Keep sinking, 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 and then take your hands down and separate your knees, okay? Then I want you to try to bring the balls of the feet and the heels together so that they're touching or as close to touching as they can be. And you might be here to start with your fingertips on the ground. If that's the case, try not to round down and become sad turtle, but open up through your chest, roll the shoulders back, and your tailbone is over your heels. If you have blocks and you want to use blocks, please go ahead. Otherwise, play with coming up so that you are sitting straight up. I know this is tough. Okay, if you want to take this a little bit further, inhale, lift your arms. Take it all the way up into high namaste. Breathe. And then exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly start to release the hands. Take your hand, Nyla, take your hand. I'll move her in just a second. Take your hands down, and then I just want you to start to walk down onto the floor. Nyla, come here. Come on. Get down. Get down. Okay, so what I would like you to do here is you come down back into a tabletop-like position. And then I want you to, before we come into that other side, I want you to bring your big toes together behind you into a kiss. So your big toes, they're just loving each other here. And we are going to come into a stretch for the iliopsoas muscle. And some of you, if you've been here before, you've probably heard me say this. Every 6 weeks or so, I probably talk about this. So your iliopsoas is this muscle that runs from your lower back. It wraps in front of your hip and it connects to your femur. This muscle is often responsible for lower back pain and lower back tension. So if you are somebody who sleeps like this, right? You have that leg up. This is your body's natural way of starting to stretch that iliopsoas muscle just when you sleep. If you do have a tight lower back and you don't sleep like this, I do recommend it. And you can put a pillow or something underneath that leg to help support it and make it more comfortable if you don't find this comfortable. So maybe just file that away. Okay. So now coming into that iliopsoas stretch, your big toes are together behind you, and I want you to take your knees out as wide as you can. Okay. And then start to walk yourself forward and get attacked by your playful cat. And then come down onto your forearms if it's available to you. But I want you to avoid dipping into the back. Think about sending your bottom back more than trying to go low. So send your bum back towards your heels. It's okay for your back to be more rounded than arched. Okay. You can take your head down, but again, just keep pushing back a bit through your bum. Take a couple more breaths here. Hopefully you're feeling this on the inside of the upper thigh. Some of you might even be feeling it into the back. Most people do tend to feel it on the inside of the upper thigh, which is again part of that iliopsoas muscle. Okay, start to lift the head, lift the heart, walk yourself up. And then I want you to draw your knees in and you are going to come back into your tabletop, okay? So we're back with the knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. Pop something under the knees if you need. And then we're going to take that left leg, extend it back. And then hydrated dog finding a good tree. We're gonna bend that left knee out to the side, draw up towards the shoulder, down to the elbow and back. And we're just going for 5 of these. You might start to feel this in your glutes. As always, you take it to the point that it's right for you. One more. Take that leg back. And then I want you to start to bend that left knee, float it forward, take the foot forward, and you're just going to pull up. Now, I know I've said this before, but when I say pull up through your core, that is not the type of core work that we're avoiding, okay? We always use our core. And the best of times we're using our core when we're standing is part of what keeps us upright. Okay, so when I say use your core, don't freak out and think like, oh, she's saying use the core, but then she said not to use the core. We're just not doing abdominal crunches, things like that, okay? Planks, all of that. So, all right, so we have the ankle in line with the knee, and we're squaring the hips forward. We are going to inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, scarecrow, elbows down. And then inhale, arch, open up to the sky. Exhale, tuck the chin down. Round it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Let's go again. And then inhale, lift it up, lift up through the arms. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Take your fingertips down to the ground. Lean in towards that leg. Curl your right toes under behind you. Start to pop it up. Walk your fingers forward. And then once you've popped up and you're on that left leg, I want you to start to lift your right leg up to the sky. Hang your head down towards that left knee. Coming into a standing split. Just play with it. Okay, and then walk your fingertips forward. Bring that right leg parallel to the ground. And then you're going to push yourself up. So you're coming right on up. So to that standing position. Okay, and then we bring the feet to hip distance. And we just take a few cleansing breaths here. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. And again. And do one more. All right. And then inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Oh, and then just exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly start to release them down. So I'm going to adjust the screen. Okay, then when you have released the arms down, we're going to play a little bit with a couple balances. Again, things for our hips. And again, there's this invitation to play and to know that you are strengthening your body, you're opening your body, you're nourishing your body, and to not take it so seriously because you're doing good things either way. So whether or not you come, whatever you think fully into the pose is somewhat irrelevant. Okay. I often feel I need to say that, especially before balances, because balances can be tricky. So we're going to, again, have the feet squared forward and we zip up through the pelvis, zip up through the core. So it's just, again, that nice pulling in and up. And when we do that, it's not that we're sucking in, because when we suck in, we get a bit of a duck butt and then we're not breathing properly. So it's just in and up, or up if you just prefer to think of it like that. And we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up, exhale them down and back. All right, and then from here, I want you to feel the foundation of your feet on the earth and try to shift the weight as evenly as you can across the whole of each foot, the ball, the side, the heel of each foot. And then shift your weight a little bit foot to foot, leg to leg. And then shift your weight into your right foot. If you would like to be near a wall, so if you feel like your balance might need a little extra help, that's fine. Please be near a wall, use a sofa, whatever you need is all good. And then you're going to take your left heel and bring it up above your right ankle. If this is enough, stay here. If you want to take this further, take that foot up into the calf. So we're working again on opening up the hip here. If you want to take it yet further, help the foot up into the thigh, but avoid putting the foot on the knee. I know it can feel sometimes like an intuitive place to put it, but it's not a great habit to get into. It can cause damage longer term. So again, either heel above the ankle, onto the calf, or up into the thigh. All right, take an inhale. I want you to lift through your arms. Exhale, sink your shoulders. Now, something a little crazy here. I want you to take the backs of your hands together. Whoops. Take the backs of your hands together above you, backs of the hands. Then cross your left hand behind your right so that your palms touch. So you just have that cross there. And then I want you to inhale and lift up towards the sky as best as you can here. Now, if your shoulders can be behind your head, if your elbows and your shoulders can be behind your head, great. But if they're more here, that's okay too. That has to do with a bone called the acromion process. And if you have a smaller one, it means you can go back a little more. If you have a bigger one, it means your arms are going to be a little further forward. So opening up the shoulders, opening up the back. Take another breath here. All right, and then exhale. Start to release the arms. Then I want you to, I'm going to push you a little bit tonight. Or not, because I'm going to lose it. Oh gosh. Okay, so if you, sorry, if you've lost it too, my fault. That's okay if you haven't. The idea is that what we're going to do now is we're going to take that left leg and we're going to cross it in front of the right. So we're just up above the knee, not on the knee, but above it. We flex that foot, so we flatten out the sole of that foot. And then hands come to the hips. I want you to start to come down. So it's like an I Dream of Jeannie, that old, I don't know if you know it, that old American television program. Whew. And then maybe you can take your fingertips down to the ground or down onto the floor. Again, we have a really deep hip opener here. Keep the foot flexed to protect that left knee. Your right leg might be talking, bend the right leg. That's how we really go into that left hip. Okay, and then we pull up through the core. Take that left foot down, and you can shift the weight into that left hip and just pick up that right foot, give it a little twizzle. Shake everything out. You can have a little dance. Okay, other side. So we have the feet still at hip distance. Connect into the breath. Sigh if you'd like to sigh. Shift the weight evenly across the feet. Relax your shoulders. And then sway a little bit foot to foot. Check out the earth underneath you. Okay. Shift your weight into that left leg, and we start with our tree with Vrikshasana. So we take that heel above the ankle, or into the calf, or up into the thigh. Whoop. You can help to find a drishti, so a point where you focus your gaze. Your sight is part of balance too, as I'm sure you saw, because when I fell, I'm going to guess a few of you also did. Again, sorry. All right, so we're going to inhale, lift the arms. And then we take the hands up into that high namaste. Bring the backs of the hands together, cross left behind right. And then we inhale and we lift up. We're opening the shoulders, opening the upper back again. Just breathe. If you get into a little storm in your tree, just take your time with it. Oh, jeez. And, sometimes injury, so I have a lot of old ankle injuries on this side, right? So they still affect me some days more than others. And you will have the same with different poses. You'll have different limitations and abilities, and just go with it. Okay. Start to Release the arms. Cross that right foot now over the left. And then I want you to, the dog's having a dance party here on carpet. I want you to start to bend at your hips. And maybe take your hands down to the ground. Or just let them come down, or if you have blocks and you want to take them onto blocks, go ahead and do that. And again, now we're working that right hip. Okay. See if you can pull up through the core. Oh, and we gently release. And then again, you can shift into the other foot, give that ankle a twizzle, shake out. If you want to shake anything out, you can shake everything out, both sides even. Whew. All right. And then we take the feet, we bring them still at hip distance. We inhale the arms up. Oh, and then exhale, swan dive, hinge forward from the hips and bow down. Hang the head, hang the arms. Take a few deep breaths here. And then bend your knees. Slowly start to ragdoll your body all the way up again. All right. We're going to step up towards the front of the mat. And you might already be there, but if you don't have a mat, of course, it's okay. Just up towards the front of your practice space. And I just want to throw this out there as well. So the reason that we do different moves every week, and some weeks we might focus more on, say, uterine blood flow, and then other weeks you're not going to hear me say things like that. It's because the body is not just a bunch of little parts, right? The body is this organism. And so when we're doing things where we're strengthening our joints, we're opening the chest, we're opening the shoulders, these are all good things for reducing stress, which of course is also important, as well as building our strength. So just know that if I'm not saying those things, it doesn't mean that there aren't benefits, okay? It's all going to be beneficial long-term for your health either way, but also, especially when we're talking about reducing stress and just making the body a little happier. Okay, so feet are at hip distance. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive, hinge forward from your hips again. And then this time I want you to bend your knees, take your hands down towards the ground, and then take a big step back with your right foot so that your fingertips are going to come either side of that left leg. We're finding a high lunge here. But I don't want you to actually stay in that high lunge. I want you to take your left hand towards the inside of the foot, and then you're going to walk and turn yourself out towards the right side. If you have to adjust yourself or your screen, please feel free to do so. And then just wiggle your feet so that they're in the same plane. So it's like you're between two panes of glass with your feet. And then I want you to put a little bend in, actually, no, changing my mind on that. I want you to straighten your legs, push through your feet, bring your chest parallel to the ground, and then inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Okay, so we're in this nice wide angle. Then I want you to bring your heels, so your heels are pointing slightly in. Okay, toes are out, heels in, so you're making a V with your feet. Arms are out, take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, start to bend your knees, drop your elbows down. So we're coming into goddess pose. Just one little opener and strengthener here. Not too much tonight. I mean, we can do a harder class on this some other time. Okay, exhale, take your hands down to your knees. Let's spend a little more time with the shoulders. So you can relax your hands here. So it should feel easier on your legs. And you're going to dip that left shoulder down towards the right knee, just turning to look out past that right shoulder should feel nice. And then inhale back through center and exhale over to the other side. Inhale back through center. And then from there, I want you to inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, take your arms to a T. And then I want you to turn your toes forward. We're going to take a wide angle fold in just a moment, but let me add here that if you have lower back sensitivities, whether you're in a wide angle fold or a normal hip distance fold, you can turn your big toes slightly in, and that can be more supportive for the lower back. So if you have lower back sensitivities, just, again, pop them slightly in, okay? Otherwise, just squared. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And just hang the head, hang the arms. Take a few deep breaths here. And then place your left hand down on the mat. Inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky and just follow that with your gaze. Exhale, release down. And again, inhale, just a single breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. And then from here, I want you, this is gonna sound weird because you're gonna turn to the back of your mat, but I want you to start to walk towards your right foot. I'm just gonna mind the piano so I don't hit my head. Okay, so you're gonna walk towards your right foot and you're just going to turn it back out. You're facing backward though to that high lunge. So your fingertips coming either side of that right leg. All right, and then from there, with that right leg forward, I want you to push through that right leg and see if you can just come up to standing for a moment. Be careful, just take your time, do what you need to do. And then from there, I want you to bend your knees, come down, come down, come down, through a squat, through a squat, through a squat, and then see if you can gently fall onto your bottom. If none of that works for you, just come down onto your bottom. Okay, and then once you've come down, I want you just to roll all the way down onto your back. I'll move the screen so we can see. Okay. So you're going to come all the way down onto your back. Oh, take a moment just to sigh out here. Carrying on with a few last little moves for the hips before we bring it down for a full relaxation. I want you to pop the knees in towards the chest. Thread your hands up between your legs. Reach for the insides of your feet. Drop your knees down towards your armpits, soles of the feet up to the sky. You should feel that in the hips. And if you want to feel a little more into the shoulders, take your elbows, bring them under your knees. On the inside, wrap your hands to the outsides of your feet. Ooh. So we get the hips and the shoulders going there. Okay, and then unwind. And once you have unwound, I want you to just take your feet back down towards the ground. And then either keep your feet here if that feels better to your back, or just extend your legs out, letting them flop and splay. And take a moment to stretch if you'd like. And if you have a blanket that you can throw over your body, maybe just hop up, grab your blanket and throw it over. Or if you have socks that you want to put back on, go ahead and do that too. And then when you're ready, just come all the way down again, either with the legs extended or the knees bent. And just relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. And just sigh out a few times. And once you've sighed out, just let your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. And imagine that there is a beautiful blue light full of healing and peaceful energy. And just imagine that light beginning to halo above your head. And feel it growing brighter and warmer. And then, like a heavy velvet stage curtain slowly dropping down, imagine that light just rolling gently over the face, relaxing all the muscles of your face, down over the back of the head, the throat, the shoulders. And again, feel everything just relax more and more. Imagine that light rolling down your chest, your back, your belly, over your hips, down your legs, all the way around the feet. And just imagine yourself wrapped up in this beautiful, healing blue light. And just imagine any of the frustrations, fears, anxieties that you are holding in your body and in your mind right now. Imagine just letting them go into that light. And feel yourself easing and opening more and more. And just feel yourself as here right now. This beautiful being, alive and breathing. And then either choose to allow that light to remain with you if you feel like it would serve you, or just gently let it go. And then draw some movement back into your body, into your fingers and your toes. And then roll to one side. And then gently bring yourself all the way up to seated. Take your hands into prayer in front of the heart. And just gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice, and this earth. And thank you all so much for being here this evening. That's it. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your evening. Yeah, so we are back next week, same time, same place. I said I would show you Luna's face, actually. So I will show you her face just because it's quite a face. Come here. Come here. So yes, so Francesca, this is the Border Terrier Pug Cross. This is Miss Luna. And she's maybe 12. We're not totally sure. Yeah, that's her big eyebrows and her underbite, but she only has one bottom tooth left of the front row. All right, I'm gonna put her back. She was sleeping very happily on the couch and was like, what is happening? Oh, thank you guys so much. And I'm glad that, the cat providing entertainment for your dog. That's amazing. Okay. Well, thank you all so much. I'm glad that most of you like the pets and their antics. They make my life worthwhile for sure. Okay. Have a beautiful night, guys, and maybe see you next week, and stay well. Thank you. Bye.